Alright folks, welcome to RatherRyan. This is a list of every vaccine I've been given at a GP surgery. On Monday, a new illness for which I've been vaccinated was added to that list, COVID-19. On the 19th of March and the 31st of May, I walked into a college, went to a converted library section with a series of booths, got asked a few basic questions after sitting down, in, out, done. Now, two things struck me about that experience. One, it's the quickest vaccination experience I've ever had. It only took about 5 minutes on both occasions. And secondly, it was also one of the simplest and most pain-free experiences I've had, surprisingly enough. I've heard a lot of stories, anecdotally and in news reports, about side effects, which do happen in a minority of cases, about sore arms, nausea, but none of that happened to me. I was absolutely fine. The chances of me getting infected, of passing on the virus and then being hospitalized fall substantially. It's not absolute. No vaccine can ever offer 100% protection, but it's substantially better than the alternative. At this point, I'd like to tell you a personal story about vaccines. So I have high-functioning autism, also known as Asperger's syndrome. And when I was 1, I got my first MMR vaccine. And according to my parents, I developed a pretty bad sore head. I suddenly became a lot less communicative. I was only 1 year old, but still. And then shortly after that, the MMR vaccine scandal broke, where there were a series of news reports suggesting apparent links between the MMR vaccine and autism in children. However, it has since emerged that these reports largely focused on one study of a group of only 12 children, normally you would expect about 1,000 for a trial like this, by a since discredited doctor found to have used unethical methods. But that was enough to trigger a vaccine hesitancy in my parents that meant I didn't get the second dose of the MMR vaccine. And when my sister was born in 2000, she didn't get the MMR vaccine herself. Unfortunately, we're fine, nothing happened, but it could so easily have been a very different story. Although I'm not really aware of many instances of measles or rubella recently, I do remember in recent years there's been a number of stories about outbreaks of mumps at Scottish universities, because there's a whole generation of children now whose parents have basically decided they are not worthy of receiving supposedly suspicious vaccines. And it's only really through good luck, rather than anything else, that things have not turned out worse than they are. Of course, if you have an adverse reaction to a vaccine, that's going to make you more scared. My advice would be to try and discuss it with a medical professional, or go to one of the NHS's services, or just look at the websites, like some of the ones I'll put in the description, that will answer some of the questions about the COVID-19 vaccine. According to a British Heart Foundation webpage, the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, which is the one I had, was found to be about 70% effective in the initial clinical trial. Meanwhile, the Pfizer vaccine was found to be 95% effective, and the Moderna vaccine 94% effective. And the Janssen vaccine, which was, I think, approved for use in the UK about a week ago or so, was found to be about 85% effective in the clinical trial. That does not mean you won't get COVID-19, or even that you can't transmit it to somebody else. So it's not a free pass to do absolutely anything you want, but it means that you're substantially less likely to get COVID-19, and your risk of being hospitalized or dying falls dramatically as a result. So the message of the story is very simple. Get your vaccines. They will do you the world of good, because remember, it's not just about you, it's about other people as well. And don't forget, registration for COVID-19 vaccinations for 18 to 29-year-olds is now open in Scotland. Please make sure you register for it. I know the end of the pandemic might seem like it's in sight right now, but it isn't, not by a long shot. And we don't quite yet know what the future will hold, whether this vaccine will become an annual thing, or if it will have to be a series of vaccines like you get for things like hepatitis B and hepatitis A, or if it's just a one-off. Only time will tell. And don't forget to share your stories of when you do get the COVID-19 vaccine on social media. I know it's traditionally considered to be a space where people overshare their lives now, but Doing stuff like this normalizes the experience. It encourages people to join in, and that, I think, can only be a good thing as far as society is concerned. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.